back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. Your hosts are here. The people y'all love the most. Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. You know, I would ask my guys how they're doing, but I know they feel good. I know they amped up because I'm pumped up. Why am I pumped up, you guys ask? Let me explain to you. So, because we had a fantasy league between us three, right? And if I recall in the beginning of, all the whole fantasy debacle and all that stuff, people, they underestimated me, guys. And I played Brian this week. And my family, I apologize. I bust his ass. Point blank simple. He was talking all that trash, y'all. Yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I bust his ass. Beat him by 23. I didn't even need Darren Waller to even play. I just ended with 7 of my guys and still beat him. But anyway,
I don't remember this. I don't remember this trash talk that I was talking. I don't know. I think you're making this up.
Yeah, it isn't. You didn't say that you were good in fantasy? When I said I need to join the league, it's like, oh, you will.
Oh, I am good at fantasy.
You will. Obviously. So if you're good, then I must be great.
I mean, unless you're going to go undefeated, I mean, does it really matter?
I'm undefeated against you. That's all that matters.
Kitty.
Okay, anyway.
I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at your team, it's like the bad news bears, man. It's just, for some reason, it just looks like a bunch of rag dolls, and they somehow put up points. Can I, just for the viewers, here are his studs. Here are his studs.
Listen to my studs, guys. Listen to my studs.
This is his starting lineup that stomped on Brian last week. Russell Wilson, he's good. Chris Carson, he laid a dud, but that was his one-name running back. He got Cordell Patterson, who throws up a 34.6 game after
baller. I called it last week,
That's totally sustainable. That's going to happen all year.
Don't worry, he's only playing on like 35% of offensive snaps, but he gets a point per snap.
Has double digit every game this year. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, he's balling. Devontae Adams, your studs underperformed, but your no-name guys
still bust his ass. I still bust his ass. That's what I'm saying.
Darren Waller got him 15. He started Jamison Crowder. That was a solid move coming back from IR, and he puts up 19.
Because I know he gets targets.
And then Laviska Shenault, because he knew DJ Chark was getting injured, and that Laviska Shenault was going to get the ball. This guy's got inside knowledge. Shenault
in there.
Nostradamus over there.
I thought I had Myers in there. I didn't have Laviska Shenault. But
anyway, he said, you did.
Anyway, don't worry about it.
You might have Myers.
Yeah, I didn't have Laviska Shenault in there, but it doesn't matter, guys. I just want to put that out there before we get straight into this great episode that we're going to put upon you guys. So getting straight into it, I'm going to hit a couple things on NBA. So preseason's going on right now. Some teams are looking good, but it's preseason. Everybody looks good that are actual imposers, right? But Kemba Walker, and the good thing, he's balling. Maybe because he's in New York, he's feeling a little bit better. I know Brian didn't like how his production was in Boston, but right now he's looking decent. He's playing more minutes. Ben Simmons and that whole Philadelphia 76ers debacle is going on. He just listed his condo for $4.3 million. So I guess that's his way of saying he's getting out of town. Like, I guess. I saw something about the Lakers making sure all the fans get vaccinated when they go to the games. Something about that line. So if you're in LA, make sure you get that vax. And then the Bulls, that everybody was saying, oh, who the Bulls have? They actually look fast. With like Caruso, you got doggone Zach LaVine, you got doggone Lonzo Ball, you still got Kobe White that's going to come back. They look fast. So I think they'll make some noise in the East. And yeah, of course, we got a lot of guys coming back from injuries with Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, a couple other guys coming back. And then I wanted to say one thing before I touch on NCAA. They put Damian Lillard as the number 2 point guard ranking system this year. I want to know you guys' thoughts on that. Do you guys think that Stephen Curry is a better point guard than Damian Lillard? Point guard, keyword.
Yes.
Got him.
Why?
Lillard is a volume shooter. Steph Curry is a more efficient shooter. And I think their assist numbers are very similar, especially when like the Golden State Warriors are actually healthy and Klay Thompson's there. So he has somebody to dish the ball to. But yeah.
Who does the Trailblazers have?
What do you mean?
Like, who do they have that is actually good? CJ McCollum is fucking wishy-washy.
They don't have anybody that Steph Curry has. I'll give you that. That's fine.
Yeah, they don't have exactly, but then the numbers are kind of identical, and you could say that Steph Curry's not a volume shooter, but he is a volume shooter.
Yeah, but he's got a higher percentage. Is what I'm saying. He's more efficient.
Yeah,
Damian
his
Lillard
percentage
has
is
to
higher,
take
but
shots to get a high scoring game. He has to take a lot of shots.
that's the name of the game. To score, you have to
Okay.
shoot. Like, if you look at the percentages, they're actually way closer.
No.
Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think Damian Lillard is in the 30s, high 30s for 3-point percentage in his career.
Last year, we were talking about all
I'm
time.
talking career. But, I mean,
Okay.
last year, I don't take just 1 year because that could be an anomaly.
Yeah, but they're ranking the system off of last year.
Okay. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's based off last year? Then,
yeah, that's good.
I still will take... you're talking about probably the greatest shooter of all time.
Okay.
Probably. That's arguable.
Probably.
I'm not going to have that argument right now, but
got
Steph
you.
Curry's up there.
All right. Well, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm going to come back with the numbers later, but anyway.
Okay.
NCAA upsets last week, or really was only one upset. Stanford beat number 8 Oregon. A lot of people predicted that. Oregon never plays good versus Stanford, so they beat them. Alabama stomped on Mississippi. That's the only thing I said right on BK Best last week. I said I bet the house on it, and he stomped them. And then Georgia dismantled Arkansas, 37-0. It was bad. This week, Oklahoma versus Texas in the Red River Showdown. Penn State, number 4, Penn State first, number 3, Iowa, which should be a good game. Playing at Iowa, so that is probably going to be rocking. And then, of course, can't leave out my guys, Roll Tide, Alabama versus Texas A&M. So, yeah, I know that took me a little while to get all that through, but...
Who do you got in that Penn State-Iowa game? Who do you think is going to win?
Okay, well, this is a pre-BK bets, right? Iowa, I got the money line.
Ooh.
I think it's
You
going to be a
like
close
some
game, but I think Iowa... Yeah, I like Iowa. I think they're going to play at Iowa, so it's going to be harder for Penn State. And I really don't like Penn State's offense compared to Iowa's defense.
What time of day is that game at?
I think it's actually a 3:30 game. I need to check to verify that. But I think it's a 3:30 game because all I saw that Alabama plays late night. Let me see. Are you looking at that right now?
4 p.m.
I think
Saturday.
I'd take Penn State.
4 p.m., right?
I think Penn State's a much better team. I think Iowa's not as good as their record shows. I know they beat Iowa State and all that, but I think Penn State is the real deal in the Big Ten this year, not Iowa.
Hey, to each his own.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we'll continue. So I don't take too much time because there's no way you can just say that and it be relevant. Like, Penn State, who did they beat? They beat a trash Auburn team.
Yeah.
They beat a trash Wisconsin team. So who did they play?
Didn't they beat Wisconsin in Wisconsin? That's a tough place to play.
Barely at that.
That's a tough place to play.
Iowa played at Iowa State, smoked them. Played against Maryland at Maryland. Everybody thought Maryland was going to be good. Smoked them. I
don't know why anybody thought Maryland was going to be good, but
because they were putting up points, they were beating teams.
Yeah, nobody's.
So, all right.
Your argument
that's all I have.
is the same argument he's using against you. That they played nobody, but Kenny's using that same argument for why Penn State's not that good.
Iowa is better. Iowa State is better than doggone any of those teams on the lineup. Indiana in the beginning of the year, a lot of people thought they were going to be good. I don't know what you guys want me to say to that.
No, I like it.
They've definitely underperformed. Indiana was supposed to be good, but
yeah. Penn State, Wisconsin. They play Ball State. They play Villanova, and they beat doggone Auburn. And then they did the same thing Iowa did against Indiana. This is not the Kenny show, so let me let you guys hit your sports so I don't sit here and take 80 minutes talking about football and NBA.
Oh,
go ahead. What do you got for baseball, Brian?
So baseball, we are in the playoffs officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
Now, it started off hot last night. The Reds.
Hold on. By the way, we need quality analysis, right? Here, okay, people are waiting for this.
So it was the Red Sox versus the Yankees. Started off one game. Winner goes on to play the Rays. The Yankees threw out their ace that they paid $350 million to a couple of years ago, Garrett Cole. And he went into Boston and got pantsed. Not good. Not good. You need to be shut down. If you're an ace getting paid top dollar, you need to be shut down. Like, you need to shut down the other team. He didn't do it.
Agreed.
He melted. He didn't even make 3 innings, and then he got the hook. I think he's a little soft when it comes to enemy crowd. He didn't do too well in the pressure. So if I'm the Yankees, that might be a bad contract that they might have to move soon. But yeah, the Red Sox showed up. I was surprised, actually. They have not been playing well. Confidence. They had just got swept in Boston by the Yankees a couple weekends ago. I still don't have a lot of faith in the Red Sox, just so you all know. We'll see. If they can make it past the Rays, then I might have a little bit of faith in them that they caught fire, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know. The Rays are the number 1 seed for a reason. I think that they're going to probably take care of business in the AL this year. We'll go over to the NL. Right now, the Dodgers.
Hold on, quick question. What do you think is holding the Red Sox back from being the contender team?
They don't have consistent pitching, whether it's starting pitching or their bullpen. Nate Eovaldi pitched his ass off last night, but he got smacked around by the Yankees a couple weekends ago when they came in and swept them. So, again, consistency isn't there. Chris Sale, he's probably going to take the ball next. He's probably the most consistent pitcher, but after that, in their starting rotation, I don't trust any of them. Even Eovaldi, I think he can melt at any time. And their bullpen has been atrocious all year. So, ever since Spire Tech, their bullpen's kind of gone downhill. I wonder why. But in the National League, we got the Dodgers and St. Louis right now. It's on right now. St. Louis is up 1-0 early. A lot of ball game left. I think it's only in the second inning. So we'll see what happens there. I would be surprised if the Dodgers don't win this game. It would bring up a great question as to whether we should continue in baseball to have this one game play-in for wild card, because the Dodgers had the second most wins in baseball. They won 106 games, I think it was. And they might get bounced because of one game. And baseball is a game of averages, of many games, and they're going to get bounced because of one bad game. It just seems a little unfair. If you want to see the best teams compete, you might have to think about eliminating this game.
Why don't they just rack them and stack them as far as conferences by AL, NL, who has the best records, and then it goes from there?
Well, they do.
Right?
It's like football. You win your division, you got your division winners, and then your wild card is what's left over.
Yeah, but I'm saying how the NBA does. No matter what, 1 through 8 makes it, right? So the same thing in there. Not the people who win the division, but the best records, right? Because wouldn't that essentially you will have better baseball then, because the best teams will be in there rather than guys in trash conferences. Like NFL, the NFC East is terrible, but they still have to put somebody bum into the playoffs.
Yeah, but are you trying to say that in the NBA that if, let's say, the whole Atlantic Conference or Atlantic Division sucks, that nobody makes it?
No, but I'm saying it's still split, right? It'll still be split, the AL versus the NL, but it's the best teams in the AL, the best teams in the NL, off the best 6 teams, they make it.
I understand what you're saying, but you still have to give the division winners something.
Question. How is it like the NFL, where you have to play a certain amount of teams in your division a certain amount of times?
Yeah,
or do you play every team? No, you play your division. You don't play every team?
Well, you do play every team. Well, not the NL. Not NL versus AL, but in the American League only, you will play every American League team. And you play 19 times against division rivals. So. But Yeah, I mean, like even in NFL, like you look at the West this year, the AFC West. You might have 3 teams that have 12 wins, well, potentially, right? Well, but 2 of those will be wildcard teams. They'll be knocked down to at least the 5th seed. You know, so even the NFL doesn't rack them and stack them. They still give the division leaders precedence.
I think
Every
it's
sport
different with the
does.
NFL only because of the amount of games that they play. It's so limited. Whereas like baseball, there's so many games. So like I don't see why they don't just like. Because isn't that how does basketball do it? They just top teams.
No.
Yeah, it'd
Each
be the
conference?
top 8 for each conference. It doesn't matter about who won the division.
No.
And,
The
yes, it do.
division winners are guaranteed.
In
Yeah,
basketball?
they're guaranteed a top 4 seed.
In basketball? No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're guaranteed a top 4
Yes.
seed. Are you serious right now?
Yes.
Okay. They're not guaranteed a top 4 seed. Whoever's the top seeds, that's how it's racked and stacked. So 4 and 5 is in. That's when they have. Whoever has the best record, that's how it goes. It doesn't matter if you are the number 1 in your conference. You don't drop down to 7th because your record is lower. Whoever has the best record, that's how it goes. It doesn't matter about Pacific. You could be number 1 in Pacific and then still be whatever in the conference.
The top,
Like whatever
according to
place
Wikipedia, the top 6 teams in each conference, East and West, ranked in order by loss record, quality, qualify for the playoffs. And it says tiebreaker criteria for the playoff seeding and home court use head-to-head matchup results. It doesn't say anything about winners. Oh shit! It doesn't say
Well,
anything about division winners.
Maybe they changed that when they introduced the whole 7, 8, 9, 10 play-in.
See,
No,
this is some
always
shit
been 1
Brian
through 8
makes
like
up
that.
in his head, and he tells
Yeah, it's
himself,
always been 1 through 8,
and
like
he
that. It's never
convinces that
been-
that's right.
Yeah, because he had me over here question. I was like, bro, I've never even heard of that. It's always been 1 through 8. Like even with the playing how it is now, you still, you know, what I mean, whoever has the better record is going to get the home court advantage. But whatever.
Hey, whatever.
That's why
moving
he
on.
does baseball, guys. Anyway, moving on to football.
Oh yeah, is that all you got for baseball, or did you have more you wanted to say?
I didn't know if you guys wanted to touch on MVP and awards.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I know it's been burning inside. You wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. So for a while there, I was all over Vladimir Guerrero Jr. winning the AL MVP. But he kind of fell off at the end of the year. He had the Triple Crown, and then he lost it. He only ended up getting tied for the lead in home runs. He lost the batting average, and he lost the RBI lead. So because of that fall off, my vote would go to Shohei Ohtani because he's a two-way player, and he pitched a hell of a year, and he was hitting bombs, and it's just, I think he deserves it because to do something like that in this day and age is very remarkable.
Did he finish strong?
Yeah. I like Ohtani for the MVP, AL MVP.
I'm just saying, did he finish strong? Like, because I was going to play devil's advocate to your argument you made about the records, right? Like the Dodgers been playing well all season, and right now they're not playing as good, right? In this for this playing game. So, like, do you penalize them for that? They're being penalized for that.
Well, if that's the case, then you can't consider either Ohtani or Guerrero Jr. If you want to only consider playoff teams, then you have to find a player off those playoff teams.
No, not the playoffs team. I'm saying, like, if Guerrero Jr.'s been playing good this whole time, and he just the last week he didn't play as well, are you penalizing for the last week why he doesn't get the MVP?
I'm not necessarily penalizing him for that. In order for somebody to supplant Ohtani because of his two-way play, I thought that a Triple Crown winner would be more deserving. But he lost that. So, therefore, I would go with the two-way player. That's all. Any thoughts on
Can't
that?
disagree there. No, I can't disagree with that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like when you are a champion, or not even a champion, right? Because I only won 1 week. When you win and somebody is like lower than you on the win-loss column, it gives you a sense of confidence that nobody can really take away. Like you can't take my confidence away. Like I'm on 10 right now because I'm like, bro, you lost to me, bro.
Who do you play this week?
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I
plays
sung
Nick.
Brian last week.
He plays Nick. He's probably gonna get dumped on. It is what it is.
Probably like I dumped on you last week, right?
Hey, Kenny,
you
tell the public what your record would be against me if you played me every week this year.
Oh,
yeah, my record.
Oh,
everybody, before we continue
be 1-3.
To football,
You'd be 1-3.
I'll be 1-3. But guess what, guys? I'm 1-0 because 3 weeks ago don't count. 3 weeks don't count. It's only 1 week that count. It was last week.
Okay.
And when it was time for your players to show up, they folded like a lawn chair.
All right.
Let's go, Ryan.
So for some football this week, I'm going to first go over the injuries, and then I'll go over some of the news that's happening now.
Okay.
I'm only going to – I don't know any other positional groups that got injured, but I'm going to go over like some of the main ones. Joe Mixon, he left like late in the game for like an ankle injury.
Can I ask you a question, Ryan?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is this going to be Ryan's comedy? Because people liked that last week. Are you doing Ryan's comedy or this serious talk this week?
I didn't write any jokes, but I can't control what comes out of my mouth.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
So Joe Mixon sprains his ankle late in the game last week. It sounds like he might miss the game, but we'll see. I think if he does miss the game, it's probably at least week 5, and then he's back week 6. But because it didn't sound, from the reports I was reading, it didn't sound like it was too big of a concern. Although, if you had Joe Mixon on your fantasy football team last year, they did this same shit where they were like, oh, he's fine. Next week, IR. And then he was done for the year. So, good luck if you have Joe Mixon like I do. DJ Chark left with a high ankle sprain plus a fracture, and he is out for the year. So, he gone. David Montgomery hyperextended his left knee, so he is out 4 to 5 weeks. So if you're interested in getting the backfield for the Bears, Damian Williams or the rookie that they got, I don't even know his name. I don't remember. Yeah, Khalil something. And then Will Fuller, shocker alert, is out multiple weeks if he's not on the IR already. But he's got a fractured finger. This guy just can't stay healthy, like, period. His body does not want him to play football. So, whatever. I'm done with Will Fuller. I'll never draft him. I'll never have him on a team of mine. Jimmy Garoppolo left with a calf contusion last week. Trey Lance finished the game. And you guys mentioned this. You're like, Trey Lance is only playing if Jimmy G goes down with an injury of some sort. And it looked like it happened last week. I know Kenny's got some opinions on what he thought of the Trey Lance stuff, so you can hop in there if you want. What'd you think? What'd you think of Trey Lance last week?
He looks good.
Solid analysis. He looks
I thought he played. I thought he played decent. I think that as you guys will hear later, I'll cover on it. I think he opens up the playbook a little bit for the things that the 49ers can do, and I'll leave it at that till later.
Yeah. All right, so then we got Teddy Bridgewater, who went out with a concussion. So he's still in the protocol. Hopefully for the Broncos, he comes back because Drew Lock is just not it. The offense takes a complete step back. He's bad. Teddy Bridgewater is not super special, but he makes that offense click. You know what I mean? So hopefully he comes back. And then Logan Thomas, I think, is on the IR. So the tight end for the Washington Redskins. Oh, sorry. The Washington football team is he's out for at least 5 weeks. What else we got? Okay, and then so I'll get into the big news. Cowboys plan to release Jalen Smith. I think they released him today. He's in talks to sign with the Packers. They're talking about finalizing a deal. The Packers are kind of pissed, and maybe he's a consolation prize because they were in talks and players were actively trying to recruit Stephon Gilmore to come over to the Packers, and I think they wanted him. But once Carolina got wind that the Patriots wanted to release Stephon Diggs,
Gilmore,
or Stephon Gilmore. Sorry.
He wants him to release Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I would love the Giants to pick up Stephon. Oh, sorry. Anyways, so the Patriots are geniuses for putting out in the media that they wanted to release Gilmore because it got all the teams to call because they knew they weren't going to get a deal done with Gilmore. He wasn't going to take a pay cut and he wasn't going to play. He'd sit out all year. He didn't care. So they were like, look, we're going to either release him and get nothing, or we're going to get something. So they came out and was like, we're going to release him Wednesday. And this was yesterday. So teams all started calling him up because they want to get him before he hits waivers, because there's no way he clears waivers. Someone will pick him up. So Carolina looks like they called the Patriots and they accepted an offer to trade. I think it was like a 6th-round pick. So that's pretty baller to trade a 6th-round pick. I think I heard somewhere that he's going to be ready for at least week 7.
Yeah, he can't come off the pup until then.
Is that past the Giants game? I really hope so.
No, week 7, I think, is the Giants game.
Fuck.
It is, isn't it?
Whoa. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it's week 5 this week. Week 6 is that? Yeah, it's week 7. It's 100% week 7.
Yeah.
That's the first week.
Nice.
Sounds just about right how things would go for us. Hey, in a non-player news, can we talk about Urban Meyer and his drama?
No.
This man is out of control.
Bro.
Oh, you got nothing for it, Kenny?
I can't, bro. That's too close to home.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing.
I will say that, you know, to Urban's defense, he he took account for his actions. Like, he's like, man, he shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't have happened. Like, okay, cool. And then listen, this is what I will say, right? He's a good dude, right? And seeing him there in that situation, I was like, damn, Urban, you messing up the money, bro. Like, you messing up the money. And I know Shelly was at the house. She took it like a champ. She's like, oh yeah, I'm with the grandkids. Da 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 da. Like, you know, Buddy needs to enjoy the night. And I know deep inside, I know, like, when he got home, she probably slapped him. Like, come on, bro, don't embarrass me like that, bro. Like, don't embarrass me like that. But to his defense, when the shorty was grinding on him, it wasn't like he was like entertaining. He was kind of like, yo, like, you doing the most right now. Mm-hmm. Like, so it was kind of like she wasn't there. Like, she was trying to get him. Like, it kind of made his story seem correct, because he's like, yeah, man, they were trying to get me on the dance floor. People I saw were trying to get me on the dance floor, and I was like, man, I'm chilling. Right. Because it looked like that, but still, you're a head coach. It doesn't matter.
Perception's everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It is an unfortunate situation. He put himself there, though. So
he did apologize in the right way, though. He like apologized for being a distraction to the team, and that's exactly what he is. No one's focusing, like, and it's a problem because they're losing games, and they should have. If they would have won last week, maybe this is like spun a little bit differently. But like the fact that they're losing, everything's amplified.
He wouldn't have been there if they won.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. He would have taken the flight home with the team.
I think he would have still stayed just because the family is up there. But I think it wouldn't. No matter what, if you're a head coach on an NFL team and any type of promiscuous actions is going on, then people they're gonna fault you, right? Because in this world, everybody acts like they're perfect, even though everybody has some jade or some shade in their past. But everybody acts like they're perfect. So they're like, oh my God, you shouldn't do that. But it's like, bro, I saw you at the bar last week and you were cheating on your wife. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Oh, no, let me not say who cares. You can't judge somebody when you got skeleton in your closet. That's all I'm trying to say.
Don't publicly humiliate him for it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you for using the words. You know my vocabulary is not exquisite like yours.
It's good. I knew what you meant.
Exquisite.
Thank you.
Hey, I do want to say this. Me and Brian talked about that during the games this weekend, but I am thoroughly impressed with the Panthers and Matt Rule. I'm going to be honest. Like, usually when a coach comes from college and he's replacing a big name like Ron Rivera, who was a great coach or is a great coach, like, those are big shoes to fill. And sometimes they bring in like their system and they try and do things the way they did it in college, and it just doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And he's got the players bought in, and the team's playing well. Even last year with Teddy, like, they played well. They were a good competitive team. So like, I'm thoroughly impressed with what the Panthers are doing. So And maybe that
I
speaks
would
to
say if you
the
look at-
ownership too.
Yeah, I would say if you look at his history and all the programs that he's been at, everywhere he has rebuilt, no matter what. And he is very strategic and smart on how he does things and how he like what pieces, people's strings he pulls. And I think he's doing that right now. Like talking to the guys down there, they were very disappointed that they lost the game because there was a lot of stuff they said on film was terrible, and they should have beat the Cowboys. You know what I mean? And they lost. So I changed my opinion on what I said. They might make the playoffs for sure. I don't think they beat the Bucs, but I think they have a good enough roster, and if their defense plays like it should and not worried about getting sacks or about the big plays, it's going to be hard to stop them because Sam Darnold is playing lights out for real.
Well, their defense just got significantly better, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, is J.C. Horn coming back?
No, I don't think so. I think
he's on the IR.
Okay, cool.
But
Okay, cool. But at least one side is shut down, right?
yeah, well, and they still got that fast guy Jackson, I think his name is.
Oh yeah, Deontay or Dante Jackson.
Yeah, he's super fast.
Yeah,
He's a pretty good corner. So,
And then, just to the inverse of that, we're talking about a fantastic coach. Let's go ahead and talk about an idiot real quick in Matt Nagy, the Bears coach, because this guy is one of the dumbest people. I don't know if he thinks that like he's tricking the media by like, all three of them could be starters, and then the next thing he knows, all three of my quarterbacks could be the starter this week. That was going into last week. And then, of course, he names Justin Fields starter. And then going into this week, he's like, it's Andy Dalton's job. It's Andy Dalton's job. And then news today is Bears have named rookie quarterback Justin Fields permanent starter. I wholeheartedly believe that either he thinks he's smarter than the rest of the world, or the owners were like, hey, man, you're going to lose your job if you don't start this dude the rest of the season. That's it.
He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, bro.
He's an idiot.
It's two different people coming back and forth.
No, you know what it is?
Oh, man.
Adam Gase is like controlling him from behind the scenes. That's what this reminds me of.
A puppet.
I'm all for beating up on him. I'm all for it, but like, if Belichick just did this, he just kept saying Cam Newton's the guy, Cam Newton's the guy, Cam Newton's the guy. Well, Cam Newton wasn't the guy. So, I mean...
No.
But he didn't change it every week.
I mean,
here's the thing.
Matt Nagy's been pretty consistent. Like, he's been saying that Dalton still has a chance. Dalton, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't solidified Justin Fields until now.
He said Cam Newton's the guy when you drafted him, when you drafted Mac Jones.
He said it in the preseason, too.
He didn't know. He didn't say it emphatically. He would say, like, Cam Newton's still getting first-team reps. He would choose his words very wisely, and then he was smart enough to know, I'm going to go with the rookie, and I'm going to cut Cam Newton. Because if it was Matt Nagy, he would have kept Cam Newton, and he would have kept both of them, and he would have flipped back and forth. 1 week Cam, 1 week Mac Jones, 1 week Cam, 1 week Mac Jones. That would have been Matt Nagy. But instead, Bill Belichick was a smart coach and was like, okay, I know what we're going with. This is where the team's going. I'm going to get rid of the locker room distraction. There's going to be no question from this team who's our quarterback. There ain't nobody know. Nobody knows in the Bears who's the quarterback. I don't even know. They could name Andy Dalton tomorrow. I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, yep. All right, I'm done.
All right, man. We'll go straight to the great debate and keep it on football for this week. The topic was a 500 or below team that's currently that you think will make the playoffs. So, in no specific order, whoever can crank it off can start it.
I can go with mine first. I'm gonna go with the Colts. I like the Colts. They're currently sitting at 1-3. One of the reasons I like the Colts is because of the division that they're in. And I don't expect anyone in this division to get a wild card spot. Or the only one that would put up a fight is the Titans. And the Titans look bad right now. I don't know what it is. Granted, last week they're sitting at 2-2. So the Colts are only one game out of first place, or tied with first place. But the Titans looked pretty bad last week. And granted, they didn't have their top 2 wide receivers, but even when they did have them, they were playing poorly on offense. So I think that plays into the Colts' favors. I will say that their offensive line did take a hit by Quentin Nelson being put on the IR, so he's out for at least 4 weeks, which kind of stinks because it ruins his for an offensive lineman, your big thing is about availability. It's about how well you play and about availability. And usually they like to have those long streaks. You remember Joe Thomas had that crazy long streak of never missing a snap or a game. But Quentin Nelson will be missing the next 4 weeks, so that does hurt him. But they played without him this last week, and they finally got Jonathan Taylor the ball and started getting him going. I think we've talked about this on previous podcasts before, where Jonathan Taylor's he's a good running back. He just needs volume, and they need to commit and give him the ball. They can't just give him 10 carries and think he's going to efficiently run down the field. They need to get him 20 touches, whether that's in the passing game or running the ball. And I don't care how much you like Nyheim Hines, you need to use him sparingly and put Taylor in the game. The Colts on defense, I also like their defense. It's underrated. They haven't been playing very well the last couple games, but they also played against Seattle, Los Angeles. They lost against the Titans, and then they beat Miami. But their turnover differential is +4, which is top 5 in the league. So if they can keep that up, keep getting turnovers, be opportunistic, and put the offense together, and Carson Wentz doesn't get injured, so that's asking for a lot. They can maybe
a lot of question marks right now.
They can string some wins together. It's mostly the teams I wanted to go with. The schedules just didn't look right. But the Colts schedule, Baltimore, they almost lost to Detroit. So as long as you learn how to shut down Lamar Jackson in the running game, I think you can win that game. They play Houston, San Francisco. You don't know what you're going to get until whether you're getting Jimmy or Trey Lance. Then they play the Titans, New York, Jaguars, Buffalo. That's a hard game. Tampa, that's a hard game. But Houston, it's the fact that they're playing within their division that's going to be some a little bit easier wins than other teams. So that's why I picked them. Sorry.
Thank you. You want to crack it, Brian, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll just get this out of the way. Listen, I didn't want to take any obvious choice. I didn't want to sit here and talk about the Chiefs. So I'm going my homer pick. Surprise!
that was the obvious pick.
Patriots, they're 1-3.
Schedule.
They're 1-3. Okay, I got them at 11 wins now because they should have won 2 of those games that they lost. So that would be back to my 13 number I originally predicted. Listen though, they played. Like I told you all last week, they played very hard against Tampa. They covered the spread, Kenny. They did. It wasn't no 14-point beatdown. Okay.
They did.
Okay. Remember, and I do
Bill
remember
was
our
out there
bet.
doing the rain dance.
Yes, it wasn't the rain. Shut up. It was their defensive coverages and how they were switching it up, and they were confusing Brady. They were showing one thing pre-snap and making him think one thing, even with his motions. Bill knew how to scheme it up against him. Just don't give your tell and then make him have to adjust after the snap. That's how you beat Brady. Take away his first option, stuff like that. And his mix and match was perfect. It was great. And listen, the reason why Tampa actually won the game is because they went to their run game in the third quarter, okay? So, like I said, if the Tampa was going to win, they were going to go running. They were going to win running.
Are we doing is this
but anyways,
or are we talking about,
but what I'm saying is, I'm saying all this to tell you guys, the Patriots became a team this week, okay? Guys like Jalen Mills, who I was not very high on, dude, he balled out last week. It wasn't by himself, but he was bracketing, Godwin a lot last week. But you only saw Godwin get 2 or 3 catches, and I think he did very good. He just did very well. I was surprised, and I just think these guys are coming together. The team is coming together now. Offensive line is still a big question mark. They just put 2 guys on COVID list, so. But and obviously the obvious thing here is Mac Jones. I think he's the real deal.
Oh my God, we need to clip that because
Jess.
Mike Jones
Listen.
is and now he's the real deal.
Definition of real deal. Definition of real deal. Give me that.
A quarterback that you can win with. That's what I mean.
But we told you were gonna get that.
Yeah,
you didn't believe
I know.
it.
I mean, some things showed up in this game, like some of his, like his arm strength. Like he fluttered a couple balls out there to the outside where it could have been picked if Tampa actually had a decent secondary. I mean, he still has some weaknesses that he has to work on, but
he's a rookie.
Yeah, he is a rookie. But dude, he had like 76% completion percentage. Like, I can't, say anything negative about him anymore. That was a big game, and he showed he had balls. I just like
they've scored over 20 points one time against the Jets in a game where they had 4 turnovers.
I'm well aware. Well, see, the thing is, they keep biting themselves in the ass on offense. They keep getting turnovers. They had another fumble against Tampa. Surprise, surprise. The interception by Mac Jones was terrible too. He should have just taken the sack, but rookie mistake. It's growing pains with him. But yeah, their schedule has gotten easier in a sense. Atlanta looks like trash, like I thought they would. I think Ryan had the Falcons beating them. The Titans look like garbage now. Ryan thought that was a slam dunk.
I still think you'll lose to the Titans, but go ahead.
Okay, you can keep thinking that.
I still think you're going to lose to Carolina, which I told you was going to be a good team. So you can go ahead and apologize for that one, because they're going to beat you.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Cleveland's going to beat you. The Chargers are going to beat you. Dallas is going to beat you. These are teams that can put up points, and you can't do that.
Oh,
the Bills are going to probably sweep.
Tampa couldn't put up points? I believe we just held them to 19.
The game plan that Bill did is a lot extra than he's going to do to any other quarterback.
We'll see. I think
you said it yourself. He's been planning that game plan for 2 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, he has. I'm not gonna lie.
When Brady left, he opened his drawer, took out a notepad that he's been taking notes about Brady. He's like, we got to do every single one of these things, every single one of them. He doesn't like it when we do this. Like, he knew, and you could tell Brady looked a little scared out there.
Yeah, I don't know about scared, but he was a little confused.
Bro, it's game planning, bro. Game planning was phenomenal. Yep. No, nobody else. It's like nobody's gonna know you like your family does, right? Yep. Like that was essentially his football father. Nobody's gonna. I know all your weaknesses. I know what you're good at. I know what you're bad at, and he put that. No other coach is gonna do that same thing to him because you have to ask Bill Belichick, "Hey, give me your keys," and he's not gonna do that.
Yeah, I think that Belichick is still a good game planner, obviously, and I think he can do that against other quarterbacks. So he's going to slow these offenses down that you guys are like spouting off here, and give his offense a chance to come through. And I think that their offense
slow down the Saints.
I mean, yeah, they kind of did. 7 of those points was off a pick 6, which was not Mac Jones' fault because Jonnu Smith has butterfinger hands. I mean, yeah, and then I don't even remember how they scored their last. Oh, they ran it down our throats. Yeah, so they really only scored 21 against us.
That's like, definitely something the Titans aren't good at, running it down your throat.
Well, yeah, they just brought in Jamie Collins though to help out with the defense. So
I didn't bring that up. Jamie Collins, maybe the third time's the charm. Third time's the charm.
Pulling the plug on your picks, Brian.
No, man,
I'm just waiting because that's why it's called the Great Debate. It's gonna drop. Yeah. Listen, he went from 13 wins to 11. He's gonna meet me at 8 eventually.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he's gonna be there.
They're not gonna be that bad. No way they're below 500. No way.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even know how they win 7 more games.
I said no way they're below 500.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know how they win 7 more games.
Well, you'll find out. You stay tuned, week to week.
Thanks.
They're gonna get their get right game right here this week against the Texans. They're gonna feel good about it, Then Bill's going to come up with an excellent game plan to slow down Dallas. Listen, it's just it's momentum. They're going to start picking it up here. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, are you done with your?
Yeah, sure. You guys already know you already know. The Patriots are going to be in the playoffs.
If we don't tighten the seal, you can go on for an hour.
Damn right I can. You want me to keep going?
No. Hey, so real quick, I just want to say, Ryan, your pick was absolutely trash. Like the Colts, cut it out.
Just wait.
Brian, your pick's okay. Your pick's okay, right? They have a chance, but the Colts don't have a chance. If you think the Titans is not going to make it over the Colts, you're drunk. Okay, back into the 49ers, which is my pick.
Lucky guy.
They have a hard road, but I believe with the game plan of Kyle Shanahan, it's going to be harder to scheme versus Trey Lance than what it will be against Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the 49ers defense is really good. Of course, they play. The reason why they haven't been effective to take it over the top is because they haven't had an explosive quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is not explosive. He's a Teddy Bridgewater-like quarterback where he'll just do the bare minimum. And if you count on him to come in clutch, he's not going to. You guys can say, "Oh, what about the Packers game?" But guess what? They lost. Okay, they lost. When they counted, they would have slowed the ball down. A good quarterback would have slowed the ball down. Don't give Aaron Rodgers time. They gave Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds and they lost. So I don't want to hear about that. So with all that being said, they have Trey Lance here. The option game is going to get going. He can be mobile on his feet. I think a lot of things open up. Kyle Shanahan's a great offensive coordinator. I think it's going to be very explosive. You're going to see the defense rally behind him, kind of like how Washington did behind Taylor Heineke. And that's just my thought process on that. So that's real quick in a hurry.
Listen, I don't think
they'll be last in their division.
No, that'll be Seattle.
Okay.
But listen, I don't know what you're talking about deep ball for when this is a Kyle Shanahan offense. Like, he's all about run. Like, run first. Like, it's a running team.
Deep ball? What are you talking
Didn't
about?
you talk about? You were talking about somebody taking the top off the defense, weren't you?
No, I think you
Who are you
confused with
talking?
another week. I didn't say that. I said open the game plan. The game plan opens up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
The deep ball.
Open the game. I don't know. I think that.
The game plan opens up because of running.
Listen, I only like your
He's
pick
running.
if Jimmy G's back soon. I don't think Trey Lance is ready. He's not.
They'll be last in the division.
If Trey Lance has to play a lot, yeah, they will be.
I'm not listening. But the thing is you guys can't say it and then not provide any analysis. You just can't say, "Oh, they're last." Why?
Because they're
Why?
0-2 at home.
Don't
They're 0-2 at home. I think that the Seattle Seahawks are going. Russell Wilson is going to win games. They're 2-2 right now. He with a trash defense last year. The man won 12 games.
Their defense is still trash.
Yeah, their defense is still trash. I think they still win 10 games at least. The Rams are the real deal. They are one of the most well-rounded teams. Yeah, they lost last week. No, they're not going to be perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you think the Cardinals are going to go undefeated? No. The Cardinals are going to lose games.
Everything is going to be back and forth, injuries, all that. Yeah,
Cardinals are going to they have the MVP right now. The current number one MVP, Kyler Murray. So they're balling out. Kyler's throwing for 300 yards a game. Like, he's playing really well. I think the Rams are a well-rounded team, and Seattle is just Russell Wilson is going to. He does this every year. It's either he starts off hot, and then fizzles out a little bit, and then they make it in the playoffs still, or he fizzles in the beginning and then heats up. Russell Wilson's going to put this team on his back, and they're going to win at least 10, 11 games. And I think I agree with Brian. I think if they decide to go with Trey Lance the next couple of games, there's going to be some growing pains. And they're going to be left with the same decision that Chicago's left with, where they're like, all right, do we really want to sit our future franchise quarterback to put him back on the bench after he played 2 games or a game or whatever, however many? Like, that's why Jimmy G, there's reports now that Jimmy G's like, they're not ruling out him playing Sunday because Jimmy G knows if I let this kid go in and start, he will not get his job back. It's happened countless times with Herbert It happened with who's the other dude? Names doesn't matter. It happened. Alex Smith. I mean, he lost his job not to an injury, but like just because they wanted to move on. But like if Trey Lance sees the field as the starter, I think he takes over full time.
Yeah, he takes over full time and he performs.
Well,
I don't think he does.
The team's better off with Jimmy G this year.
How do you figure?
He's just a better quarterback right now.
Okay.
You're going. I mean, Trey Lance had some good throws last week, but he only completed 50% of his completions. He had 157 yards, one of which was an 80-yard bomb to a wide open, and it wasn't even a bomb. It was like up the seam, and it was a blown coverage. No one was covering Debo. That's 80 of his yards. So like, I get
what you're saying though is you're making it seem like he had one complete week in a game plan and he knew he was going to be the starter and he performed like that. He came in after Jimmy G gets hurt, which he doesn't think he's going to play, right? He knows the game plan, but he doesn't think he's going to play. Then he performs that way. That's what I'm saying. 50%. I'll take that every day with a rookie that's not starting.
Hey, I completely understand. I like Trey Lance. I have him in in fantasy leagues just because
Obviously,
know that
you don't like him because you said that Dalvin was better than
because
him.
I know how I've seen time and time again. It's very few and far between that you see rookie quarterbacks come in and like dominate and win you games to get you to the playoffs. I think that the 49ers will probably be one of the top teams in that division next year. If Trey Lance
is a handful.
I just don't think he's going to be. I don't think he has it.
This is my last comment, and I'll let you guys have it. It's been a handful of quarterbacks this recently. In history past, yes, you can say that. But in recency, like, no.
Who?
It's been a handful of rookie quarterbacks that came in and they played. Look, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert.
I think he's gonna play fine. He is just not gonna play enough to be better than Stafford, Kyler Murray, the MVP right now, and Russell Wilson. I just don't think he's got enough to be able to get, because like Brian said earlier, only 3 teams are making the playoffs.
I understand that, but last year it was the same thing. The Seahawks came out hot. Everybody's like, oh my God, Seahawks is the team, and they fell off. One of these teams
won
are going to
12
fall
games.
off. They're not going to stay.
12 games. Okay. They didn't fall off nothing.
Okay.
I don't know. All right.
They fell off offensively, but they were still winning.
Okay.
And listen, Jimmy G is gonna win games. He's always just won games. Trey Lance has not been a proven winner yet, and his performance was not that great. Like, we'll see what he looks like this week. It'll be, if he's the starter and they game plan for him, we'll see what he looks like, and then we can make a fair assessment.
You know what, Kenny?
I have nothing to say.
I agree with you. If he comes out and he balls out, he's the truth, and he will. If he balls out, he's like
I'd be mad. You can't play both sides. You just said he's not going to be effective, so stay on that side.
That's the side I'm on. That's the side I'm on.
Okay. Cool. Stay on the side that he's not going to be effective. So if he goes
as long as he comes in and starts
throwing
the Brandon Ayuk.
No, I don't want to hear nothing.
Hey,
as long as he comes in.
Are you starting him in fantasy?
I'm not starting over Russell Wilson.
Why not? You're trying to sit here and say Russell Wilson's not going to make the playoffs, but Trey Lance is. So,
bro, if he comes in a game and he performs, I'm going to start him because he is going to open a book. He's going to run and he's going to pass. That's why. If we're talking about fantasy, we're not talking about fantasy right now. We're talking about what team can make the playoffs. And I said that the 49ers can make the playoffs because of what Trey Lance is going to bring to the table, opening up the playbook, and it's going to make defensive coordinators have to worry about the run game, which they don't have to do with Jimmy G, right? With the option, right? They just have to worry about the power odds spread on it. Now they got to worry about the quarterback running. That's a whole different element that you got to consider now that you didn't before.
Jimmy G's not very athletic, but he runs the ball a little bit.
Bro, he's terrible. Don't even say that.
He's not.
Jimmy G doesn't run the damn ball.
He's not terrible.
Stop it. All right, bro.
You need to stop.
Hey.
What? Jimmy G runs the ball?
Yes, he runs the ball. He doesn't do it a lot. He doesn't do it as much as Trey Lance will, but he runs it sometimes. He does it when it's like the read, when it's the proper read, when he does the RPOs. I don't know what more you want from it. Like it's
On
You
the
obviously
Ryan
don't
Fantasy.
watch the game then.
What? Oh my God. Ryan's fantasy, let's get to you because Brian is just reaching.
Okay.
He's reaching right now. He's just really just said Jimmy G runs the
Yeah,
ball.
he does.
Cut it out.
Oh, by the way, well,
Because it was
Brian,
open every time when they played the
Brian.
Packers. It was open every time for him to
What?
pull. He did not pull one time. I don't
Right,
want to hear that.
you should stop because the guy has never
Bro,
rushed for
don't
over
give
100
him
yards
time.
in a season.
Don't give him time, bro. Don't give
Ever.
him time.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
reaching.
so
What?
In the season he played a full 16 games, he ran the ball 62 times. He had 1 touchdown.
okay.
Don't say he runs the ball because he scrambles for like a first
He's
3-yard
reaching.
first down. He's just saying random shit.
Does what he's got to do.
You're right.
Ryan,
You're right.
let's go to Ryan's fantasy. He's giving me a headache. He's giving me a headache right now.
Hey, by the way, Kenny,
All right.
real
Oh,
quick.
come on, stop.
Well, I got this.
We can't.
This isn't even. This
We
is
can't.
off topic.
We can't. We're going too
This is
long.
off topic.
Yeah.
Real quick,
We're going-
NBA playoffs. Real quick, I found it. You have to go back to before the 06 season, but they used to do it. They used to put the division leaders
Oh
at the
my
top.
God. Okay, Ryan's fantasy. Let's go.
Anyways, he's hey. I'm gonna hit it.
06.
I'm gonna hit it real quick because we ran out of a bunch of time. All right, so games that you want to target this week in DFS, and teams that you want to target specifically, and you want to stack them on there. Dallas is playing New York, and they have an implied point total based on Vegas projections of 29.8 points. So like, that's a ton of points. So if you want a team. So maybe the Giants are great on defense. I mean, we give up points. We're an okay defense, but Dallas is going to put up points. Zeke is balling out right now, and I hope you guys took my advice with Kadarius Toney last week because he played pretty well for his price in both FanDuel and DraftKings. Tampa Bay, their implied point total is 29 points against the Dolphins. The Vikings 28.3 points against Detroit. Arizona 27.5 against San Francisco, and then the Green Bay Packers against the Bengals. Those are teams that I feel like I'm targeting, especially with like the Cowboys, because I think that's a 52.5 point over under. Dallas and the Giants, and Daniel Jones has actually been playing pretty well. So watch his price start going up. I think we talked about it earlier. He's like the quarterback 6 or 7 in a fantasy right now. And the Packers and the Bengals game, the Packers have not been excellent on defense. So, and the Bengals have actually done a lot better than I thought they would do. I thought, and I'm waiting for you. I'll wait till like midway through the season, but I'll go ahead and happily take your guys' apology for the fact that the Bengals took Jamar Chase instead of taking Penei Sewell because they've looked good on offense. I think homeboy Mixon has actually ran the ball pretty decently. Granted, it's with a lot of opportunities, and I don't think they're giving up a ton of sacks. And Joe Burrow is actually scrambling around, so his knee looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, so I'll take the apology. They're 3-1. And what's the
Jamar Chase hasn't been snapping. He's been playing decent. Don't get me wrong.
What?
Tyler Boyd snapped last week. Jamar Chase played decent. Tyler Boyd snapped last week.
Oh
in the 2 previous games, he had 2 bombs for a touchdown, and that's the only thing that saved him fantasy wise.
Jamar Chase is currently the wide receiver 12. That would make him a wide receiver 1 as a rookie this year so far. When
you get 2 70 or 60 plus yard touchdowns, that's going to boost your fantasy points up.
Yeah. You know who used to do that? Tyreek Hill. He used to do the same thing. He'd get big bomb plays and he'd get low receptions, big plays, and now he's up there with like the elite players. I mean, that's Jamar Chase. He's just a rookie. He's learning the offense. They're scheming up plays, ways to get him the ball. He's going to start getting more receptions later on. Yes, Tyler
That's not
Boyd
an apology, though.
moves. It's not an apology. He's not going to get a lot of receptions. You're right. He's not going to get Tyler Boyd 100, but he's going to get the touchdowns, which is different.
Brian, what apology are we supposed to be doing? If that's not the case, I don't know.
You
said apologize.
The apology was when you guys shit on me.
Right, correct.
The apology was when you guys shit on me for praising the pick of Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell during the actual draft. When they could have drafted an offensive lineman, you were like, they need an offensive lineman to protect Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is not going to do anything for this team. Granted, he has done everything for this team and has helped put 4 touchdowns on the board and helped them get to a 3-1 start. Whereas I don't think Penei Sewell would have done the same.
What did me and Brian say last week? I said, yes, target Jamar Chase. We said, yes, target Jamar Chase because T. Higgins is not playing. When T. Higgins is there, his targets go down and he's only a deep threat. That's it. Okay.
Lies. If T. Higgins' targets go to Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins moves the chance.
This is not a debate.
Listen.
I apologize. This is Brian's fantasy. I'm sorry.
Penei Sewell would have made them a better complete team because they already had offensive weapons to throw to.
Yep. That's all we're going to say. We're not going to make it a debate.
Yeah,
Me and Brian
sitting on the bench because they're injured.
Okay.
Let's get BK bets. Win us some money. Put some money in my pocket.
We haven't been doing that.
I'm sorry, guys. I first of all, I was long-winded this episode. Then I didn't win us any money the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks. 3 weeks now. Shoot. So I'm going to get straight into it. BK bets. I'm doing all safe bets. I'm not taking no point spread. Everything is money line. We're going to do a 3-teamer money line. I'm putting 100 up. Michigan minus 172. They're playing at Nebraska. It's going to be a tough game, but I like how Michigan's been playing. I don't know why. I'm not even Irish, but I like Notre Dame. Like, every week I've been picking Notre Dame, and they come through sometimes and sometimes they don't. But I like them at minus 115. And then Iowa, I know Brian doesn't like this pick, but I don't really care because we've both been wrong, right? So Iowa Penn State at Iowa. I like Iowa being the home team, winning in a close one at minus 127. You put 100 on them, you'll get you a total of 495. So hopefully we can get back on the right track. We're still plus though. BK bets as an overall whole, we're still plus money, so you're not losing any money taking our picks, which is half the battle. So yeah, I'll let Ryan go and hit the NFL side.
Listen,
Ryan, stop teasing us, man. I get so excited that we're gonna win some money. And then right at the end,
listen,
don't pick a Monday night game.
I was right about the Patriots.
Yeah.
I got 2 out of 3. All right,
let's go.
This week I got Tennessee at Jaguars. I got Tennessee minus 4. I think. Listen, Derrick Henry owns this team. Okay, historically, so I think they're gonna win by at least a touchdown. Okay. And then I got the Patriots. I know they're minus 9, but it's against Houston. I think they're going to kill that team. Okay? And then
I've never even... They have to literally double like the points that they've been putting up. But go ahead. The offense is going to get it this week.
They are. They're gonna run all over that team, okay?
This is the week.
Listen. My final pick, it better come true. Kansas City, I'm taking the money line. Or I'll just, fuck it. I'll just take the spread to be careful. But it's basically take the money line because it's minus 2.5 at home. That's basically a pick 'em game, So, but take the money line take the spread to be safe. But yeah, minus 2.5 against Buffalo. I think they're going to win at home. They're going to take care of business. Josh Allen sucks with a good crowd. So that's what I got. Mark them down.
Hey, I do agree with you about the Patriots, though. Only in a sense that they will run all over this team. I just don't think that they put up enough points to cover the spread, but that's just me. And DFS safe play is Damian Harris because he is gonna run all over them. But go ahead.
Yeah, he should be cheap this week too.
Yeah, I can't argue because I don't have any backing. Right? I haven't been effective like I normally am, so I can't say, "Oh, Brian, I don't like that," or I do like it because I've been wrong across the board lately. So I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to agree with my partner, one half of BK bets and say if he says it's good, then it's good.
Hey,
all right,
we'll see.
So that's what we have. We got anything else, guys, or is it?
No, I think that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
Brian, you've been right with the Patriots. I will say you know your team pretty well. So if I say that they can't cover the 9 points, but like you may be wrong about a lot of things and a lot of other
But
things.
not about those Patriots.
But the Patriots, you just have like a sneaky little inside scoop. He's chatting with Bill on Discord or some shit.
On WhatsApp.
Yeah. No, they're pen pals. They're pen pals, old school.
I mean, if you think about it, the win total, they should be 3-1. They're 2 fumbles away from doing that. That's all I'm saying.
About that.
All right.
They're just taking care of the ball.
You cover or you don't cover. At the end of the day, only thing I would say is Tennessee. I don't like them at 4. I'll push the money down to -3 because somehow Jacksonville always gives them some BS when they're playing certain games. Whatever. I would say -3. I don't like 4 at all. Any point spread betting on any NFL game. I hate 4. That's just my opinion. But anyway, like always, guys, we appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And we'll see you guys next week. Follow us on all the socials. We're on TikTok. We post some stuff on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Keep talking and subscribing on YouTube and leaving comments. And we appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.